Hi friends, welcome to my teacher model. Here I'm going to model how to map for our writing focus task. So a couple of things here. I have my mapping handout here, and I already went ahead and blacked out my responses so that way this video isn't super long. I also included the text that I'm using for my map, and then we have our anchor chart. So let's go ahead and get started. So step one, choose a map to fit the task. The type of map I choose will depend on my purpose for writing. I remember from studying the prompt that I'm writing a narrative. I have three different types of maps. The first is a story map. A story map is used to identify and describe the characters and setting in a story and the major events that will happen in the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Next, I have a persuasion map. A persuasion map is used to plan an opinion essay. It includes a space for the main point the writer wants to prove and reasons and examples that support the main point. And then last, I have a main idea map. A main idea map is ideal for informative writing. A writer can identify a main idea and supporting details or evidence to include in an essay. Because my task is to write a narrative or a story, I'm going to choose a story map. Now, my story map is not going to look like this exactly, but it will have the basics such as the characters, the setting, and the beginning, middle, and end. Step two. Now I make my story map. I will describe my setting or where and when the story takes place and my characters. I will also describe the major events from the beginning, middle, and end of the story. A story often follows a predictable structure. The beginning of a story identifies the character's main problem. The middle shows the character trying to solve the problem, and then the end shows how the problem is solved. I will be sure that I follow this structure as I fill in the map. Now, sometimes these boxes may be overwhelming and you don't know where to start. I like to start with something easy. Sometimes I like to start with the names and the characters. So because I'm focusing on the Hermes character, I am going to focus on this, starting here. So my main characters is Hermes because he is the narrator. Also, another character in the story is Apollo. So here are my characters. Now I'm going to move on to the setting. I remember from reading the story in our previous lesson that the setting was in the fields and it also takes place in ancient times. Now that I have my characters and setting done, I'm going to focus on the beginning, middle, and end. Now, my friends, when you're doing your beginning and middle and end, you don't have to write out a full story. You only need to write down important details that help you remember what is happening. The purpose of your planning is to do a sketch, not a full draft. So when you see my responses, they can be one or two lines. That's to help me remember what the story is mostly about. And then when I actually do my writing and my draft, that's when I will add the super important details. So, in the beginning, Hermes introduces himself. So that's what happens in my story that I chose. The middle is everything in between. Hermes steals the cows and hides them from Apollo. Also, Apollo gets mad. And then, in the end, Apollo catches Hermes, and then Hermes trades the lyre for the cows. So this is my beginning, middle, and end. Now remember, I didn't write a full-on beginning, middle, and end. I only wrote enough details in order to help me recall from the story so that way I don't have to keep rereading. So that is the end of my model. You're going to continue on with the Nearpod. Bye.